lecture 1 is writing scientific paper in English. So our class title is Writing Scientific Paper and Making Presentation in English. I am Guan Xiaohong, okay, I'm from Department of Automation. I'm the instructor, okay. I'm going to tell you the main content of the class, how we're going to be given, and some class information, how we're going to, mark or grade the class, okay? This is our textbook, okay? Here is published by Tsinghua University Press, and it's called the useful information for scholars new to the world of science. And I'm part of the authors, okay, of this little book, but I believe there's a lot of useful information given to the new scholar, okay? And this book is, first author is Professor Ruchi Ho, and he now retired, but he used to be, the Harvard professor, and also he is still the chair professor of Tsinghua University, okay? And he's very famous scientist, okay? And I believe he was both the academician of Chinese Academy of Science and of Chinese Academy of Engineering, foreign member, but he's also the national, the member of the National Academy of Engineering in U.S., okay? Very famous, and my mentor in Harvard University. So they, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of us wrote this little book, but I believe it's useful. But I believe, I'm afraid this book might be out of print. I don't know the current status, but I show you next slide, our TA will make effort to see whether they have new prints or not. If not, I'm going to upload some electronic copy. But I hope you guys do not distribute, because the copyright they belong to the Tsinghua University Press, not for me, okay? Because we already signed a contract with the Tsinghua University Press. This has been, I believe it's published 4,000 copies or something like that. But they hope us to, write a, revised version, okay, second edition and so on. But we haven't got the time to do that yet. But we'll hopefully next year we're going to use a new, new edition. We cover 3 parts: general instruction and advices, content of research paper, and the review process and responses. The first part is general instruction and advices. There are common instruction and advices for writing scientific paper in any language. First, scientific attitude. In order to write a good paper, we have to do good research. We should have good results on theoretical investigation, experiments, numerical testing or simulations, and so on. The second part, we need to have a logic in presentation. We should have a logical presentation in writing paper. We should have good language flow, fluent, and we should have a good structure and clarity in our paper. There's also a very important principle when we write a paper. We should know our reader who wants to know the results of the paper to determine to read on. We should put the results of the paper in the abstract so that when the reader reads the abstract, they know the results of the paper, and then the reader can determine to read on or not. If the reader wants to intuitively know the idea behind this paper and how it is derived, what are the significance and the implication, the reader should read the introduction. In another word, we should write all of this, the key idea behind the paper and so on, in the introduction. Most important part is we should summarize the contribution of paper in the introduction so that the reader knows the key idea behind. Then, if the reader wants to know all the gory details, then the reader can read the entire paper, the whole paper. All of this we should follow in writing paper in any language. There's also difference between writing paper in English and Chinese. First of all, there are some cultural difference. Confidence versus modesty. In the Chinese culture, modesty considered to be a good character, personal character. However, in Western culture, when we write a paper in English, we don't have to say some words showing the modesty. Okay, we need to present the paper with confidence. Also, there are some cultural difference on the responsibility of delivery. What does delivery mean? Delivery means how much the reader can understand you. Okay, in the Chinese culture, sometimes the writer believes that it is a responsibility of the reader to get enough background in order to read and understand a paper. However, in the Western culture, the responsibility of delivery is usually on the writer side. That means the writer should know the background of the reader and write the paper clearly so that the reader can understand you. Okay. Another part is language. Different language may have its own characteristic, and it has a unique way in presentation. Direct translation often do not work. We have to keep this in mind. I've seen, the website of famous university, 博士后流动站 is directly translated into postdoctor mobile station. This looks like funny. I mean, there are postdoctor mobile station. 流动站 here doesn't mean mobile station. Okay, then how do we translate 博士后流动站? Actually, it is very, very simple. We simply use postdoctoral program. So here, program means a lot of things. Okay. 我抓紧时间完成. Someone translated into, I will take my time to finish the work. Actually, it means opposite. Okay. 抓紧时间完成 means, I will make every effort to finish the work. That is what you mean. Okay. There are some, funny sign, some joking example, but it's a real example in direct translation. For example, here, look, in this sign, 小心落水 is translated into fall into water carefully. This is very funny, okay? And it means the opposite way, okay? This is number one, okay, rule of thumb, okay? Translation, direct translation, often do not work, okay? You cannot write a good scientific paper by, I often, students often come to me and say, can I write the paper in Chinese first and then translate it into English? I'm telling you, that's not a good practice, okay? And I know some, authors write Chinese and they use 金山词霸 to write which is very bad practice. They often come to the very funny and wrong, translation, okay, direct translation. 那给你三分钟。博士后流动 is this 博士后流动 that means postdoctor mobile station? Is that what the 博士后流动 that means? I see some of the famous Chinese university put this on their English website. I mean, they're saying poster doctor mobile station. That means there's a post office in the campus, there's a doctor in the post office, and they're riding some automobile that are going around the campus. I mean, what should be the appropriate English, expression for post 博士后流动站? What is that? What would be the good translation or whatever expression for this? Very, very simple. It's a postdoctoral program. That's it. Program means a lot of things, okay? Program means, software, okay? Program also means, the schedule in a concert, right? And here also, the 专业学位, okay? Also means a program, okay? 博士后流动站 also means program, okay? Means a lot of things, okay? I take my time to finish the work. What does it mean? 我抓紧时间完成。It means the opposite way. Take your time is a phrase, right? Means what? Don't hurry, right? Take your time, okay? So it's the opposite means that 抓紧时间, okay? What does 抓紧时间 mean? How do we say it? I will make every effort to finish the work, right? That is appropriate, English to express what you mean, right? So you directly translate it into this. This is wrong. Totally opposite the way, okay? So do not translate. I know some native speaker in Beijing are collecting this something, some sign, okay? You read this, I mean, sometimes it's hard to read, but look at here, okay? 注意安全，小心落水. Take care. Fall into water carefully. And you think all this funny sign, they are translated by someone, do not know English well. Well, look at this sign. Okay, this is the the sign in Tsinghua University. 第一教室楼 is translated into number 1 teaching building. Okay, 第二教室楼 is translated into number 2 teaching building. Actually, this is not very good English. How can we say 第一教室楼? I would say lecture hall 1 or lecture building 1 or something like this, okay? I see, in a tourist spot, 投诉电话 is translated into lawsuit phone number, okay? At the tourist spot, when you find something is not clean, okay, are you going to file a lawsuit? Certainly not. Okay, then what is a 投诉电话? Actually, 投诉电话 simply means a phone number for complaining, okay, rather than, the phone number for making a lawsuit, okay? And 当心滑跌 is not take care of your slip, okay? It simply means be careful. And look in here. This is more funny, okay? You can read it yourself. In writing scientific paper, we need to present the fact, theory, proof, experiment, and the testing objectively. We don't want to put our personal feeling and something like this, emotion into the text, okay? And we need to avoid unnecessary political, religious, emotional comments, okay? And also we should avoid bias, discrimination related to the race, gender, age, and so on. We also have to be sensitive to the comments possibly expend as against the current social, ethnic, and conventions such as those in the life and the medical science. Offend someone, okay? Because in the West nowadays, there's a common sense and also the common consensus of so-called separation of church and the state. 政教分离, okay? Religious elements should not be in the scientific research, okay? But the author doesn't mean this, right? Didn't mean this, right? But this is the wrong, presentation. This is basically the focus of our class, right? It means we should not make wrong focus. We should avoid unnecessary political, religious, and emotional comments. Avoid bias, discrimination related to race, gender, age, and so on. This is no good. In the Western culture, these other things are very sensitive. Okay, don't do this.